Hey guys, it's me, QuigX, back with another video. I am in the Valkyrum Dunes and we are making a party for our white mage who's level 11. And I wanted to make this video to show you guys that you should like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I made this video because I wanted to show how you can make a safe party, one that gets good XP, and that is very beginner friendly. I didn't have 3 samurais and all this other crazy stuff. We didn't do a range TP burn or anything like that. So what we have for our setup is we have me as a Taro white, black. I picked up a bard right away. And then from the bard, I said I want a tank. We got a paladin for the tank, which definitely helps with cures and everything else. Picked up a dark knight for pulling. So dark knights and thieves early on are good for pulling. And then we picked up a ninja for sub tank, who he turned Bendy Lock actually turned into the main tank for a little bit. And then we had Dark Knight, Paladin, White, Black, Bard, and Ninja. And you say, QuigX, why are you so excited about this? And I'll tell you why I'm excited. You better listen. I set up the party. This happened on purpose accidentally, right? I meant to do this, but it worked out beautifully. I made a safe party. I hadn't done white in a while, so I made a safe party where everything would work organically. So the paladin can cure. The ninja doesn't need me as much because they have Utsemi. The bard has Payon, and not that they used it very much, but they're also sub-white. The black is also sub-white. I'm just here for a good time. Not a long time, but for a good time. So I made that party, and I think it turned out really, really well. Here's some of the footage for you guys, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so this is footage of our first pull. Our guy just got here. You notice that goblin over there? He's going to be there in the near future. He'll make a guest appearance later. Absolutely ridiculous. But this is our first pull, and one of the things you do is I typed a little / in there, and people put the / also. That just lets people know that you're ready to fight. I'm ready. I'm here. Let's get it. And as long as you have, see, Maiko did an amazing job with pulling this party. I start off with Dia as an enfeebler, right? Because that does a tick of damage and it lowers defense. I was on blind duty. I would just keep casting blind until it got there. But if you notice, the bottom part of the screen, the bottom right, is their hit points. And what I'm doing is I'm clicking on cure, and then I'm using the F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6 keys to get to my party members. So 0 is the tank. I would hit cure like that, or cure 2, and then I would hit F3 or F2. That's how I like to do it. Later on you will need macros, right? Okay, so I'm going to take you through this, right? I cast cure, I'm taking care of everything, and then out of nowhere comes a goblin. If I wouldn't have had reacted the way that I did, we would have definitely been out about 10-15 minutes of XP. I don't know how I reacted so well. It was almost like it was scripted. It definitely was not. If anyone watches the video, they'll see that I was standing actually in front of Neshumi, right? I don't know how this thing aggroed me, but it did. And being the Taro Taro, I would have got 2-shot. But not only did I react really well, my team reacted very, very well. And one of the things whenever you get aggroed is you desync, you unlevel sync. So if the person that is on their game and they unlevel sync, you have 30 seconds. I believe that the Paladin used Invincible too, if I'm not mistaken. I was going to use Benediction, but they reacted so well that I didn't even have to. So we fought this goblin, and I believe that he went through the wall, if I'm not mistaken. Because there's no way that I'm getting aggroed by this, right? So I get full MP. I start to cure, right? I'm curing Myco. And then out of nowhere, boom, here comes this goblin. And I'm like, what in the world? You just bam, 67. Immediately I start running. I have 56 health. There's literally no way that I'm not just gonna continually run from it, right? And so I was gonna zone it. I instantly went on Benediction, right? I'm saying I might be able to zone it. I'm running, and they say come back. Okay, so I do. But this was real iffy. I almost got, yeah. And they correctly told me unsync because I was trying to, almost died there. Payon was really helpful there. Saved my life. Thank you, Bard. So I'm cure 2ing him because I have to. I would have just, see right there, I do a cure because I don't want to get all the hate. And my dude's barely surviving. But then the level sync drops. We're a little bit stronger. And I still don't put a cure 2 in on him. I don't, you guys, as white or as a support, you don't want to get the hate, right? My guy had half of his HP left. He's fine. Okay? You don't have to have them topped at 100 all the time. When you start getting to 40 and they haven't done their weapon skill, because monsters have TP skills, that's when you need to worry, right? You need to keep them topped off. But if it's a real, I don't know, I feel like I did a decent job this time keeping our guy survived. And now, because I know that his provoke is up, I threw a cure 2 in. So looks like we got it all squared away. We're all taken care of. And we even got a little bit of XP. I immediately go back to level sync. I have never seen something aggro from that close before. Absolutely ridiculous. And Wing Zero said it perfectly. Nice job. I said I don't think that's my fault, but it was technically. But like, that was an insane pull. We insanely, and looking back on it, the Bard helped out a lot with the Payon, and everyone just rallied together. It was pretty clean all the way throughout. Here's just a small snippet of what we're going for whenever we try to conserve our MP and things of that nature. I will use blind to make it to where I don't have to use cure as much. I want blind to stick because the more that they miss, the less I have to cure. Just like whenever the people get poisoned, I want to poison. Here we grab a link. So I really have to be on top of my game. And this is a really good example of not panicking. Our team was really good this time. One of the reasons why it was so good is it was set up to be able to take care of scenarios like this. We're not melting through everything. We're slow, we're steady, we're methodical, we are extremely balanced, and look, we're taking 2 at one time. The ninja took 1, and the paladin took one. I saw that the paladin is most likely going to be fine, and then I see that the ninja needs help, but the ninja needs... Look, I poison her right away. Get rid of that poison. The bard instantly switches over to Army's Payon, which at this level is fine. It was good, right? And then dude just absolutely annihilates it with his ability and stuff. But we had taken 2, and we were in 80% range of our health, in between 80 and 100 the whole time. Like, this party's set up beautifully to not be the fastest. Oh, there's another goblin. But to be consistent and to be steady. We were getting XP chain 5s. The reason I was going so slow is because I didn't use my XP ring because I was the sink, even though that's not something you need to do. But here's an example of resting as a mage. I see that this is one of the toughs. So there's tough, very tough, incredibly tough. That's a big difference. A level 22 crab is much different than a level 19 crab. Everyone that's done a Dunes party understands that, right? I see that this one is a tough, and my hit points at the start of that fight was like 50 something, right? They killed a whole mob without me because they just took on the tough. Your party should be set up to where you're able to not have to have a party member. If you need all your party members, your party isn't probably very I could have replaced any one of these guys. You could have replaced me, still done well. Could have replaced the black, still been able to make it happen. The bard, yeah, you don't want to replace the bard of the black or anything. I'm pretty much the only one that could be replaced, right? But you see, boom, Wing Zero is absolutely crushing it as well. He's using Club, using Starlight. The only thing that I will say about this party is, and it's my fault as a leader, I should have picked out the skill chains and the magic bursts that they do. I did not, so they took quite a bit of time to come up with their own, and that's pretty big. We get it whenever we get the at the end we get it, right? Whenever we start fighting crabs, we get it. I think we get 1 or 2 good skill chain bursts. If we would have done skill chain bursts better as a party early on, this would have went a lot faster. But again, if you're making a Dunes party, it doesn't matter the speed. It's about staying healthy. This would probably not be a good party later on. You need a little bit more damage, maybe. I think. Anything with a bard is a good party, right? But I think later on you need something. But there's 3 to 4 aspects of a party, right? You have your healing, you have your tanking, and you have your damage, and I would say utility. So like a support, like a summoner, or a bard, or I think puppeteer later on. That's not even in this horizon, but you guys see how there's like utility, and in my opinion, you want 1 tank, 3 damage, 1 healer, and 1 utility that floats between those. So like the utility would probably be like a red mage or a bard or something along those lines. Our party consists of, like it was Overwatch or something, we had 2 tanks, right? That's probably an outdated reference, but we had 2 tanks. We had a paladin and a ninja. We could have substituted the ninja for a damage dealer. Killed things a lot faster, right? Or we could have substituted the paladin for another paladin. Or we could have substituted the paladin, right? 1 tank, 3 damage dealers, 1 healer, and 1 utility, I think will make any party like really, really good. But the thing that made this party really good was, yeah, we're getting XP chain 391, right? We're killing fast, and we're not hitting everything like crazily, but even with the crabs we struggle a little bit, but we're never in danger of dying. Not once was I like, I almost died, except for the goblin that you saw earlier. And I don't have MP issues. I can pretty much rest in the middle of a fight if I need to. These types of parties are perfect, absolutely perfect for beginners. If you are a veteran and you're trying to help out a white, teach them the ropes, that sort of thing, or a black, teach them the ropes, you should make your party to where it's the easiest possible that it can be, right? And being Taro helps out a lot with that, with MP and things like that. I don't need astral rings or stuff like that, but I did try to have good equipment. And this party got us from 12 to 15. Well, I was 11, actually. 11 to 15. So it was 4 levels. It was a really good party. It was a little bit slower, but it felt right. Everyone was chill. I know the black mage went AFK a few times. People were just chilling, and we were destroying everything, right? And so it's fine. It's like that's sort of how everyone's really good at their job, except for me, because I don't know what I'm doing. But you see how crafting a party is, I believe, 4 parts. And I already told you that it's one support, like a healer, 1 utility, 3 damage, and 1 tank. And if your tank can deal damage, great. Or if your tank can heal, great. That is right there. That's one of the only times I got hate the entire time. They were so good at just keeping things off and making sure nothing came and got me. It was great. Okay, this is me leveling up from 12 to 13, and there's not much more to say. I was just sort of trolling a little bit. I already knew that I was going to level up, and I was 17 to my next level, as I put in chat. And I just have a little friendly, I'm going to attack it. As a mage, you shouldn't be attacking things, right? But because I'm silly and I'm a chill guy, I just say, hey, let's have a little fun, right? So I just attack it, and everyone laughed, and no, I'm just kidding, no one laughed. I was just being stupid, I guess. And then we after we absolutely destroy this, then we go to the next camp. And you see right here that I get level 13. And whenever you level up, my MP restores. So I didn't even need to like rest or anything. I was good to go. Level 13. Let's go level up, baby. So we just run to our next little camp, and we begin to take on crabs. This party was only around for probably about 45 minutes at this point. So we cruised through the lizard camp in about 45 minutes. That's pretty good, especially as we had 2 syncs. We synced 12, Ninja 12, and then whenever he went up, I switched over to me as I went from 11 to 12. So it was a really good, really strong party. Really, everyone was very, very good at their job. This is a crab that we fought. I just want to show the difference between mobs, how you have to adapt a little bit more. We were fighting these, and it was slower. At level 13, it's much slower, right? So if you're with the party, XP slower, don't worry. It picks up 14, 15. Start of every camp. Just depends on when you go, especially at 15 whenever you start getting abilities. But as you can see, we're taking it at a much slower pace, and enfeebling is very important. So I was trying to stick blind on him multiple times and just make sure that everything stuck, because if these guys hit harder, blind's important because they're going to miss just as much, you know. So if they hit for 35 and I'm curing for 30, but I use blind, I'm going to keep my tank healed the entire time. Plus we have a paladin, plus we have a ninja, plus 2 others with sub-white. And I mean, it's a pretty, like I've said before, straightforward party that's very beginner friendly for a white. We crafted this party so we could show that sometimes you want a more friendly party than getting crazy amounts of XP. And through doing that, you'll actually get more XP. We didn't die a single time in this party. We didn't come close to dying a single time, minus the little gob incident, which wasn't our fault. As you could see, we were well within the restraints of our party. But that's just taking a mob. Sometimes it takes a little bit slower, but everyone was chill. This is so important. We did a magic burst on this guy, and as you can see, whenever he gets to 67% of his health, we take him all the way down to 0. We use our abilities. So what a magic burst is a skill chain. Certain skill chains create a like a burst, and then you can throw your magic on top of it. So it'll say like skill chain this, you know, you use your weapon skill. If you use the proper weapon skills, a skill chain happens, right? So he uses right here, wait for it, he uses Blade Ren. That's the start of the skill chain, right? Then he uses Iron Tempest, which creates skill chain distortion. And we both use water at the same time. That's why skill chains are so important. This was one of the only ones that we did. If we were to do skill chains properly in this party, it would have been a 10 out of 10. Party was more like a 9 out of 10, which is high praise coming from someone who nitpicks everything, myself. And right here I thought that the goblins were attacking us. I almost went to desync, and then I saw that they weren't, and I ran back, and we got even more experience. So just some more stuff and the importance of magic bursts. So this is something that a lot of people don't do necessarily, but planning for ending your gaming session. And what we did for this is I asked them, hey, I'll be going in about 20 to 30 minutes, right? And they didn't see the message. I asked who wants the party leader. I was party leader. I wanted them to make sure that they got the time to rep and they were able to rep who they wanted. I just didn't repeat the same white, and so maybe they wanted their party with 2 tanks to have a red instead for more damage or something like that. So I asked them again, hey, did you guys get my message? Anyone want leader? I'm leaving in like 20 to 30 minutes. One of the most basic things that I see that people don't do in Final Fantasy XI is plan ahead. It's like, okay, I'm just going to XP and then I'm done. Well, no, my gaming session, well, I have 800 to my next level. I just want to get that and then I'm done. I just plan based off of timing, right? We plan based off of when the party is not going to be done, but when you're going to be done. and you preemptively deal with stuff. For example, hey, I'm going to go in 20 minutes, not, oh, I need to go right now. And then in real life, you're like, hey, so-and-so, hey, honey, hey, wife, whoever, spouse, give me 5 to 10 minutes and I'll be done. No, you get off early and then you go back to town and you sort your stuff and you do a little bit more. Things like that, and you'll have, I think, more productive gaming sessions in my mind. That's what I see. Rather than logging in the second time, going in, logging, and doing that sort of thing, I think it's a little bit more easier with that sort of thing. So you can see I put in my 20 to 30 minutes, and I gave leader over to BendyLocks. So as you can see, XP chain 4 220 without a ring. We are absolutely crushing it, right? But that's not how my gaming sessions go. Like this one, I think we get 288 XP chain 5, and this is our last mob. But that's not how the XP chains, that's not how I necessarily do things, because I'm a little bit more of a filthy casual. So I go based off of a time limit, so I don't get burned out, because I'm doing this for a semi-living, even though I don't make any money. But you see right here that Maiko absolutely demolishes this thing. It's at 50, 49, goes straight down to 1. My guy did 212, 16 damage at level 14 with the distortion. That's why skill chains are so important. That's one thing that we were lacking. But you see how, like, he destroyed it. He demolished it. Right? Actually, this is the last one, but I did want to see, shout out to Maiko for absolutely crushing it in this party. Wing Zero did fantastic, provoking, never felt threatened. Nezumi did really good. Bard, obviously, was really, really good. Stuck a bunch of poisoners, so I didn't even have to. I mean, I don't even know why they had me in this party for the most part. And the ninja did perfect with her shadows and everything. So everyone did really good. Mike, I'd probably give MVP to Mike, but it was a close second, third, fourth, fifth to, everyone else was tied for second and I was third. So everyone did really good. I was pretty much the only person that you could probably replace, but I was the party leader and I created the party, so I was irreplaceable, right? No one can replace a Quick-X, right? So I think it was one of the better parties. I used Benediction because why not? I was leaving anyways. And that's the party. So, Quick-X, what are your thoughts on the overall party? Well, we talked about it in one of the other sections. I think every party deserves a tank, a healer, 3 damage, and a utility if you want to be a good party. There are exceptions to those rules, and that is like burn parties where you just overwhelm them with damage. So you have usually 5 damage that absolutely rocks everything. Beastman burns obviously are just beastmen destroying everything with their sheep and their pets and everything else. But for the most part, a traditional conventional party consists of a tank, a healer, 3 damage dealers, and a utility. So if you're ever making a party, make sure to try and cater to the safer side. If you're new to it, get heals, get the ability to really make things happen. And you could argue that we only had 2 damage dealers and a bard, which the bard makes up for a lot of the damage dealing, right? That's why people love bard so much. They can take a basic party and make it super strong. But that party, even without a bard, would have done okay. we did really good because of the Bard as well. But I think one of the things also, I will say, I would give that a 9 out of 10 for the party. Amazing, right? The only thing we didn't do was a consistent skilled chain magic burst, right? Which is nitpicking because we got a lot of XP very quickly. So one of the things that people don't think about after they're in a party is leaving, going back, putting stuff on the auction house, sorting their inventory, that sort of thing. I did that off stream this time. A lot of times I will do it on stream, but I just decided, it had been 2 hours and 10 minutes of partying, and I was just about to go, and I was like, okay, I'll just do that extra 5 minutes, and then I'm ready for the next gaming session. I'm not spending 15 minutes at the start of my next gaming session sorting my inventory, putting things on the auction house, that sort of thing. Thank you guys for the video. I really appreciate all the support, all the messages I've been receiving, all the subscribing. We are up to 12 subscribers now. Just like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay in touch, message me. It's all awesome. And until next time.